Kudos, everyone involved.
You can afford a decent PC. Congrats.
Actually, this is not round of 16. This is quarterfinals, so sorry about that, guys. Yeah, oh well. All right, so here on the left-hand side, we've seen them now our third game in a row. Liquid Chef, Fan, iDream, Rajar, and Bobby Hank Hill going to be going for the Cloud9 Vortex. And I missed the dance party, the Ginyu Force here on 2-Arc. Acedia, Furious D, It's Prototype, Keefers, and Quibsy. Quibsy, of course, representing the NA Illidan. Rajar forgot to actually move when the gates open up. But level 1 talent's coming out, and Illidan. Seasoned Marksman, not evasive shielding.
Ooh, that's a risky build. He's planning on going ham. He's purely relying on the fact he has double supports, potentially triple support, if Abathur decides to get involved to keep him alive. And he is going to be going full ham. And with Seasoned Marksman, there is actually a chance of seeing the hunt, because you get in there and burst down super quick.
Yeah, and if you're going to go for the hunt, you have to have supreme confidence in your team to keep you alive. And again, I would not be surprised to see the Abathur actually cloning out the Uther or the Brightwing for that extra amount of keep Illidan alive. And because Illidan's going to be such a big target, I feel that they actually leave the door open really nicely for Tychus as well in the back, because if you're not pressuring an Odin, he's going to just shoot you in the face repeatedly.
Yeah, but the issue with that is, this is a very kitey team from C9 Vortex. Again, very similar to what they ran earlier. The counter situation to that, though, is you don't run away from an Illidan. If you get engaged upon by an Illidan, you pretty much have to either CC him or turn and fight, or you're going to just die, because he chases you all the way.
He's like a Chen.
He's like a Chen, only with swords instead of a stick.
He's a lot more fit as well.
He really is.
Beer belly, non-existent. Something that to note as well, the Abathur build. You're going to have to look out for that, because if I recall, when last time we saw a 2-Arc with this, it was all the kind of speed ups. It was speed ups and health regenerations on shields and stuff like that. You're not really going to be seeing... Yeah, you're not really going to be seeing a big pushing Abathur. It's all about the Quibsy. So you're going to have shields and heals and shields and heals and speed ups and health and regens and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we can actually keep an eye on him with this new overlay as well. We can keep an eye on how many stacks he does get. Currently he is only on 2, so he has 2 increased attack damage, but he's 1 stack away from getting... he's 1 attack minion kill away from getting another one. There we go. So he's just going to be hanging down there, and Arthas is someone decent for him to lane against for him to get all this. In the meantime, Vortex... pretty much doing exactly what they've been doing the last few games and just wrecking everything. A bit slower this time, because Tychus has been doing a good job with the help of Brightwing of clearing the waves as they come.
Oh, wow, Quibsy.
Oh my god.
He got... Oh, wow. He got death coiled in the face. He had with the Tempest, and then he got envenomed as well.
Oh my god.
He had no chance right there. That's why an Illidan doesn't beat an Arthas early.
Yeah, and Illidan doesn't beat an Arthas really until Giant Killer comes around, or at least until you're being healed. But that was very bad timing to die, because the first tribute is just about to spawn. He is up in time, though, and is on the way, dying pretty much just in time, in fact, and is now moving in, looking for his moment to engage. iDream has been called out of position, though, and Quibsy going straight in onto that, and the chase begins. iDream attempting to chase up, but Quibsy taking a bit of damage and instantly healed up by Prototype there, getting to go back in. But while he is being a one-man frontline there with the help of Uther, Furious D was able to grab the tribute.
Yeah, they were able to put up the zoning enough. So having a tribute in their pocket means that they don't have to really worry too much about a 3-0 split here. I was really concerned that Quibsy had actually jumped that gun right there, but looks like he's going to be okay for now. Him dying into that bottom lane really didn't actually hurt the experience too much, but we still have those advantages coming out for Cloud9, because this iDream character has just been absolutely relentless on these towers. We got no towers in the top lane.
Quibsy, he's taking quite a bit of damage. He's healing himself up, but Brightwing is there just passively healing. Quibsy needs to get some of that lifesteal down, but it's 2 versus... They're basically Malfurion and Zeratul both on him here. And finally, Rajar does back out. Rajar, I don't think I've seen him lose a fight yet.
Nope, he's good.
He's very
good. Zeratul,
I am a fan.
We saw both of the first aids actually put out right there. But that's the big thing about Brightwing. He doesn't do like big front-loaded damage. You know, or front-loaded healing. You have to really rely on the passive, and you know that time is all that you need there from Cloud9 Vortex actually to pick that up. So. Nice 2 kills early on here on top of Quibsy. It's not really going to damper his spirits whatsoever, but at the same time,
his stacking.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is quite unfortunate. He is up, but his team not really going to be able to be contesting this tribute. Just going to give this one over to Vortex, while we are going to see 2Arc taking down this Golem to get a bit of a push of their own going on. Amethyr, a little bit proxied as well, just to get some XP and push that lane up in preparation for the Golem.
Yeah, so because they got that first tribute, they don't really have to worry about the second one. And with that now push advantage, we also got Locusts up here. We got Quibsy and crew up here as well. They are going to be pushing that down as hard as they can. iDream, however, has not relented in the mid. We now level 10 and pushing down for a fort. Arthas was also able to take a tower in the bottom lane as well. So there's a lot of bigger advantages going the way of Cloud9. But once we hit 10, we're going to have to see if it is going to be a hunt or if we're going to kind of back out on that one and go for the meta.
It's actually getting engaged upon here by quite a few members. Brightwing has come to join the fray, though, and just get some healing down. There comes the strafe, but interrupted by the grenade of Furious D. And we just see a bit of a trade, no one really taking anything. And Amethyr deep tunneling back to the bot lane to just counter the constant push of this Arthas.
Yeah, Arthas hasn't left bottom. Not once, I don't think.
He's been chilling. It's like when he was on Chen a couple games ago. He's just staying there and pushing the entire time. iDream almost getting caught there. Metamorphosis.
There's no hunt.
No hunt. Oh, well, but he's going to try and use the Metamorphosis to chase onto Dream here. Dream has used his boost, and there's the Polymorph. Dream taking a lot of damage. The Divine Storm comes down from Ufa. Protohype going to be backing up there. It is now Bobby who is on the run, trying to stay alive. He's popped his... Oh, Liquid Chef is there with him. Quibsy has now run out of his ult. Brightwing is there to try and heal him. There's the shield to try and keep Quibsy alive. And he's going to use a minion to dash out of there. And the Emerald Wind is going to keep Protohype alive. Nice last second Odin from Furious D to scare off Raja. And now we're going to see 2Arc looking for their opportunity to try and take this tribute. Furious D just holding the front line. And the Void Prism from Raja is going to delay this out a bit. And Fan going to just keep this delay going on. Furious D is going ham in the front line, though.
Yeah, but you said, you haven't seen Roger actually lose a fight. He just dropped right there. Double Odins are now going to be on the board here for Keepers and crews. So it's not going to be the double or triple support. And I guess, at this point they said, yeah, we need the range damage more than anything else. Bobby Hank Hill and Fan are going to be here trying to just take this one to town. The grenade is enough to take on Vala.
Prototype backing up, he's taking a lot of damage. iDream is in the back. Bobby managing to kill off Iliad again. It's Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne all over again. iDream backing up, trying to duel with the Amethyr clone here. It doesn't matter if he kills the Amethyr clone, it just reduces the damage. And we're seeing 2Arc once again trying to get this. In comes Raja. Doesn't get Protohype, but is going for Ace. Ace tries to teleport out, but instead just stands still and sort of accepts his fate. Down goes Ufa, though, and Furious D desperately trying to escape, but he will go down to iDream here.
The VM! iDream with the VM. My God. Number one hot dog right there.
Raja just got completely wrecked by Ufa Ghost, though. Ufa Ghost ulting and queuing onto Raja to kill him off while he was already dead. But yeah, ultimate BM there. But we are seeing Vortex take a bit more control. They're finally able to take this Golem for themselves, and they're going to use it to keep pushing. In the meantime, though, Kiefer's has been pretty busy in this top lane. This fort is about to die.
Yeah, and it's going to drop between him and Acedia. There it goes. That actually almost puts us now on par with the experience. And, it felt like forever ago that there was actually a tribute on the floor. That boss fight was just absolutely nuts. But going back and forth, you got the Bullhead Mines now from iDream. You got the Sprint coming out there from the Uther. We have Phase Shield, actually, on our Brightwing. That's not something you see every day.
Yeah, it is quite interesting. It basically turns it into a mobile shield. But Quibsy, once again, is very out of position here, forcing Metamorphosis, and Brightwing teleporting onto him does get killed off. There's the Void Prism, trying to keep Raja trying to keep himself alive here. The team of 2Arc has arrived to try and help out Quibsy, but Quibsy just isn't getting much done. Nice Divine Storm, though. That's going to help out significantly. Down goes Malfurion. There's the stun onto Fan. Fan now being chased by Quibsy. There's a chance that he will go down, and there he goes. Raja will join him shortly. However, Bobby and Dream finally able to pick this off. And Furious D and Abathur, the last surviving members for 2ARC, it is going to be Arthas and Hammer surviving for C9, and they are going to continue this chase onto Furious. And Hammer is doing so much damage. Abathur is not enough. Brightwing might arrive just in time, though, and she does!
The phase shield, the level 13 talent! Oh my god!
The turnaround! Good lord, that was amazing. We questioned it, but good lord, that worked.
Blue team cursed. This 2ARC build is absolutely amazing. Keeper's in the top lane, not quite 16, doesn't have those locusts ready to go. In fact, I'm actually really surprised that Abathur is actually not going this big supportive build on top of Abathur. He is actually like pushing out. He has the survival instincts, he has the barbed spines, now on top of that assault strain, and if I have to guess, it's going to be the locusts, and there you go. So I'm going to have to eat my words on the Keepers, but everything else coming into that was just... 2ARC is doing things, man. 2ARC is doing things.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was a situation where it looked like that might have been a loss for them because Abathur could just not do enough to win that. But the last second heal from Brightwing and the shield was just mental. But now, C9 going to try and punish this. Quibsy gets stunned by the golem, and C9 looking to try and interject here. Rajar is here. His ultimate is not off cooldown, but there is a Divine Storm. His ultimate was off cooldown, apparently, so there is the golem for C9. I just mistimed that very badly. Ace trying to heal up the team. The Odin has been popped, but down goes Iliad. That's the main damage dealer. Furious D gets popped out of Odin, and C9 punish the greed of 2ARC here and take the game directly back into their hands. However, Keepers is still being annoying. He takes down another fort.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not all negative coming off the back of that, but losing 4 team members for 0 plus losing out again another boss, that is not what 2ARC needs in this game. And that was actually the trick that people are complaining about the most right now upon the Void Prison. The Void Prison actually removes your presence out of capturing, so you Void Prison everything, and Rajar is just able to walk up and grab that boss, even though there were so many team members of 2ARC on top of it. So that's how all that came to be. And of course, with that Void Prison, we were able to pick off the people not in it, and Cloud9 are able to do some really fun things. They are level 18. They're still maintaining the experience lead over top of 2ARC as they're dealing with this loss of a keep. But, that the curse overall doesn't really feel like it phased Cloud9 whatsoever.
Nope, Cloud9 have lost all of their forts, but they're still in control of this game. They're just under a whole level ahead. They have the majority of the lanes pushed up, and if you look at the map and just look at the mini-map, the game looks very in favour of 2ARC, but they just can't gain their foothold here and really get damage done. It's all just been Abathur sitting in the background, passively working away.
It's passively working away is a really good way to actually put it. In terms of siege damage, 66,000 now here for the Abathur, as he's basically leading the charge for his team, but he's still second to the siege tank. iDream is absolutely doing amazing work there. In terms of hero damage, though, it's pretty neck and neck. 6,000 between the Illidan as well as the Tychus, so both of them are getting their licks in, but it's between the Arthas, believe it or not, who's leading Cloud9 in terms of hero damage. It then comes down to Vala as well as the Sergeant Hammers. So there's a lot of damage coming up from both sides of both teams here, and you can see, everyone's just kind of polarizing right now. 2ARC is up top. They're pushing out this gate. They got some minions there to help them out, but it's all about the bottom boss right now.
They are going for the Cloud9. Yeah, they're going for the bottom boss, but they're going to give up a keep for this. I'm not really sure about this as a move.
The Void Prison opportunity.
He can save it, but no, he is going to leave it. And Rajar, Vortex do give up this keep. They're right next to the tribute, though. But then they are going to get it, but they still need one more for a curse, and giving up that keep puts them a little bit behind in terms of the fact they're going to be catapults in these lanes now, which is going to help Abathur so much.
There is, yes and no. The catapults did get heavily nerfed in the last patch, so we haven't really seen those big backdoor scenarios.
The promote catapults, etc.
Yeah, the promote catapults, the Abathur and their stuff. So everybody's actually now going to come home and defend, but look at that Divine Storm on top of that. It's going to be that Emerald Wind, just puts all of Cloud9 in the back line. Quibsy is there, but he's not really able to take down Chef nearly as quick as he wants to be. Furious D and Acedia are actually stuck in the Void Prison. That is going to lead us to the collapse on top of Illidan, and this is not a good defensive position for 2ARC.
Yeah, that Void Prism seriously turning this game around, trapping those two members, meaning it was basically a 3 versus 5, and that is not a situation you can win, as is a 2 versus 5, which is what 2Arc currently have to deal with, and we are seeing C9 continue to push in. That Golem, sliver of health left, but enough to take quite a few shots from the core. They have minions as well, they have giants, they are going to go for the win here. They only have to deal with Tychus and Brightwing with a little help from Abatha, who is back in base to try and help defend. Down goes the Golem. Bobby's actually gonna actually die here. Down he goes. It is now Ace trying to help defend, but it is going to be Fan and Liquid Chef with the help of those catapults and iDream in the back, who do kill off the core. And we're going to see C9 take the first game. To game number 2 of this best of 3 series, and it's going to be on the Dragonshire.
So, once again, the Dragonshire, we should probably turn the game capture back on. There we go. The Dragonshire map, it's not all about the kills, but if you can get those kills and you time it out right for the shrines, you can pick up the Dragon Knight, which will then load in a very fast, my goodness, which will then give you those map advantages. We saw Cloud9 do very well with it early. We're going to have to see if they can do it again here, because they are the boys in blue. Bobby, Hank, Hill, iDream, Fan, Rajar, and Liquid Chef. Would you like to give a stab over to the 2Arc, sir?
I would love to give a stab over to 2Arc. So they are in the red trunks, and on the Arthas it is proto-hype. It's literally proto-hype. And we have Keefers playing the Tassadar, and in the bot lane, the party lane, it is Ace on the Brightwing, Quibsy on the Hammer, and Furious D is on the Tychus.
I remember...
doesn't have a D ability.
He doesn't, but I remember early alpha when I first came up against Furious D. It was like the first thing that came to mind was she wants the Furious D kind of joke.
Yeah, I was immediately thinking that. I was trying to work out how to work that into a joke, but I couldn't think of one, so I just went with the fact that Tychus does not have a D.
Yeah, my very first impressions of Furious D was a D joke. So once again, we see all 5 of Cloud9 Vortex here in the mid. They clean out the creep wave very quickly, and now it looks like we are going to have the 3-1-1 with Rajar, iDream, and Chef down here. So again, like without the tank, the comp is definitely hurt here, the early game shenanigans from Cloud9. But with that Witch Doctor, I mean, they can still put up a good amount of AoE damage. I just don't think that they have the same pushing potential, because look at the return team. Furious D, Quibsy, and Acedia, like, they're really going to be able to actually start poking at this. And this is, I think, the first time we've finally seen the breaking of this early game stuff from Vortex.
Yeah, this might be the case. Hammer just doesn't seem to lose in the early game, just always seems to win the lane. But we are seeing C9 attempt it. They are launching so much poke in the direction of 2Arc here.
Yeah, no, they are, but we do have our supports into these lanes. Something to note again, it is double support for 2Arc, so it might not have been that Uther that we were looking for. In fact, we don't have Uther. We really actually do go for Malfurions a lot of the time here on Cloud9. Dream is actually going to get really low there. Chef is going to have to heal him up. Both shrines going the way of red. And we also got Acedia coming in, so this could actually be a very early Dragon Knight coming out.
Yeah, that will be enough. So we're going to see Keefers grabbing that Dragon Knight, and he's going to start pushing it down this middle lane. Furious D and Acedia. How do you pronounce that?
Acedia.
Acedia. Gonna be
you can just call him Ace.
Down to,
cool.
Yeah, I prefer Ace.
Yeah.
I'm uncultured, yay. They head back down to the bot lane. Brightwing helping out here, does see Liquid Chef coming. Fan attempting to get a bit of damage done, and there's the root with Rajar here, throwing down the spiders, choosing not to zombie wall, realizing he's not really going to catch it. Instead, going to use it to at least slow down the Dragon Knight. What happened?
Creeps! Tychus died to creeps!
How did he die to creeps? What just happened?
He dueled out I9 like to a sliver of a health, and then an archer turned around and shot him in the face. First blood going the way of Cloud9 as the rest of everyone has been dealing with Keepers here. It looks like they've actually successfully defended this mid-section, and they did not lose a single tower for it.
Yeah, that is very impressive. You do not see that very often at all. And get first blood and defending a Dragon Knight. Minions are just OP. Nerf them.
Cloud9 definitely doing well here in their early game. Keepers is dealing with Fan very well. Bobby Hankill and Protohype, they haven't really left their lanes at all. They haven't gone to join the world, so to speak. But they have been soaking, and that is exactly what they need to be doing at this point in the game.
Yeah, they are grabbing as much XP for their team as possible. And I like what Quibsy has done here with his level 2 talent, going for the Vampiric Assault in the situation where he's not getting as much push damage done. as C9 were in this situation. So instead, going to give himself a bit more sustain so that he can push for longer.
Yeah, that is a bit of a variation on the typical build. Usually you'd go for the Maelstrom shells here for the extra range, but if you need that vamp, if you think that you're not going to be able to live without it, it gives him a lot of presence. It also allows Acedia and to just kind of leave the lane because he can just auto attack to back to full health. But unfortunately, because he does not have that extra range, he's not really going to have those bigger advantages in these team fights. So it's a trade-off.
This is true. He's currently helping clear the lane, and C9 once again winning the pushing war with the help of this Nazeebo, even against the Sergeant Hammer. And Mercenaries beginning to go over to C9 as well, taking their first easy camp. And Fan, heading back to this mid lane, just going to continue soaking. See a little skirmish in the bot lane. Furious D, maybe venturing a bit too far forward here, but the shield comes down from Ace and does keep him alive. Quibsy, though, is going to be getting caught out here. He's going all the way around Brightwing with the very short-range teleport just to get the heal off. Quibsy is trying to stay as far back as possible. He goes down, so does Ace. Furious D is on the run, and he's going to go down as well. Triple kill for C9.
Not what you want when you have double the golems, or sorry, double the giants now also pushing down this lane, because that gate is no longer there. You mean we had even Brightwing coming in at the end of it all there, but they could not sustain through that damage, whereas Malfurion was like the healing master right there. Because of that triple kill bottom, both shrines going to go the way of Cloud9. Kiefer's might even drop before the Dragon Knight gets close to him, but it's going to be Rajar now picking it up for his team, and they're going to be pushing in, looking for that level 10 as well.
Yeah, they're looking for the level 10, which will be coming up quite soon. If they clear the next wave, they will definitely get it. We are seeing Protohype choosing not to come help his team. He's just staying top to try and get any kind of soak going down. There is the level 10. Stitches is hanging around here. He has Gorge. He's going to kill off this wall to try and give himself a hook angle. And there he goes. He does get Kiefer's. He has gorged him. It's going to carry him back. Kiefer's does have his phase shift, but it's not going to help if he gets rooted there. And he gets taken out before he can even phase shift.
No phase shifting for the Tassadars. This is a no phase shift zone. Level 10's definitely showing the advantage right there. So with the Gorge, we also got Tranquility, Shock and Awe, Ravenous, and Strafe. It is all the damage here from the damage dearest. And Chef has, I think that's his third game now in a row as well. Fourth game in a row, I should say, with the Malfurion going for that silence. But he's now out of that dragon. Still, damage was done. Levels have been achieved. And Cloud9 are looking good here in this early game.
Yep, Tuark, though, have now hit level 10 themselves. They are bringing up their ultimates. We're seeing the standard affair, but Blink Heal coming out for Brightwing, and this could be a horrible mistake.
It might be, but it also might just be simply we need the healing.
But you're also not getting the interruption. Healing's nice, but you can't out-heal Strafe and Ravenous Spirit.
Yeah, not with a Blink Heal, that's for sure. So, will that be a mistake? Will that be the winning move? We'll have to find out. Apparently, Acedia there is actually pronounced Chubbs.
Chubbs.
So, we're going to call her Ace because we suck. So, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, this is definitely the case. We are currently seeing Tuark attempt to get their mercenaries here, but in comes C9 for the interrupt. Those golems, there is the Ancestor,
oh my
there
God.
Is the Ravenous Spirit, and everyone dies. They kill off Tychus, who was trying to take those giants there, and push his corpse all the way back over to his fort, just to scare off the buildings a bit.
A little bit of corpse play never hurt anyone.
I'm sorry.
Yep,
Not a sentence you hear every day. Yeah, all right, let's move on. We're currently seeing C9.
But again, Cloud9, every time Tuark wants to take a creep, they're there. And they interrupt it, and they get kills, and we're just suffering for it. Level 13 now for Cloud9. And, that extra talent tier is going to be very effective because we have almost 2-level advantage right now, Tetcher.
Yeah, this is looking ridiculously good for Cloud9 right now. They are pushing on every angle with these bruisers, with these siege giants. The shield from Tassadar is helping significantly, though. Seriously keeping their buildings alive for just a little bit longer. But you can't stop that kind of damage. And Malfurion and Nazeebo are going to be able to take this down. In the top lane, though, Protohype will also go down. He tries to... Oh, he almost got away with it. But iDream, just too much damage. Does pop Strafe for it, but is finally able to take him down and will take control of this top shrine. And that puts both shrines in favour of Cloud9. All they need to do is to get someone mid and they will be getting their Dragon Knight. But right now, they're a bit busy. It's going to be Falstad who's going to fly there, while the rest of the team of Cloud9 attempt to delay this. But they're going to lose control of that bot shrine as two Arc do wander in. I almost said it wrong.
One day, sir. One day. Yeah. 2 Arc. There you go.
Yeah, I've said it right a couple times.
Yep, Fan actually traded up for Furious D there in the mid, and then we saw that Arthas actually dying up top. Kiefer's losing most of his hit points in that exchange with Rarjar and Sheth, but Quibsy is putting up a little bit of tank damage here into the bottom lane. They did get themselves a tower for it. Bobby Hankill and iDream are transitioning, so it's going to be some kind of bigger fight down here. If we can actually wait just a little bit, Cloud9 will have 16, and that will have their finalized talents before the Storm tier, whereas we only have 13 for the for 2 Arcs. So, you know, they're just really keeping this this advantage. Wow, the hook. Bobby Hankill is about to decimate Furious D.
Furious D, running for his life, doesn't even get rooted, just gets body blocked and killed off super quickly. iDream was denied taking the dragon, though, and now the top shrine does go over to 2 Arc. Fan gets interrupted with his ultimate, but the Ravenous Spirit is not going to stop, but doesn't actually get anyone. It's just going to do some building damage here for the remainder of the duration here. And none of these ults are being interrupted. We're seeing no interruptions to Ravenous Spirit, sorry. No interruptions to Strafe. And just so much damage is coming out. We can in fact have a look at the charts, and we can see that we have 19k from Falstad, 21k from Vala, and 17k from Nazibo.
Well, more damage is going to be landing here on top of the Quibsy because he does get caught. The thrusters are going to be enough for now, but Rarjar is here and he's ready to punt, and there goes the Lich King. So that's going to be a fort down in the mid. Fort is already down in the top. They might actually just rotate and grab the bottom, or they're going to push in for this gate. Either way, I mean, it's again the 16 versus the 13 talent tiers. Cloud9 with the clear advantage. They got 10 kills to 1 here, 10 minutes into the game. They have a kill a minute, whereas we're still looking for number 2 here on 2 Arc. And Rajar's just going to use all those hit points just to get down this gate. And this might actually be the key as well. They get down the gate. Rajar's about to explode. Are we going to go into a hook on the back of that?
I think so. No. He does have fishing hook. It could be a quite long range, but no. They seem to be backing out, waiting for Ravenous Spirit to come back up. They don't want to get caught out. All of the ultimates were up for 2 Arc there. So decided to play it safe. Going back, grabbing some health, grabbing mana, grabbing whatever they need to, and we're seeing the bribe on the siege camp as well, just to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, that Falstad bribe, you know, we actually don't have the level 1 bribe here for the Brightwing. That's actually something we didn't look at. It's Arcane Precision.
That's quite
which, again, not really too sure we're actually looking at a Battle Wing because we have Blink Heal and Protective Shielding and all that. Don't have the Envenom. We don't have the bribe. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the Brightwing build, but it is not really delivering in terms of the healing that it needs to today.
This does appear to be the case. Quibsy going to be helping it take care of these giants by knocking them into tower range, but may have ventured a bit too far there. There is the strafe, but the shield from Brightwing will keep Quibsy alive, and the heals will heal him up. This Mule and the Tazadar shields have kept this bottom fort alive for so long. Cloud9 really wants it gone.
They do. I mean, it's the last bastion of the first tier of forts. It's worth a good amount of experience. Yeah, I saw the fishing hook come out right there. We also have Hindering Moonfire now, if you look at level 16 talents for Sheth, so even more slow is going to be added on top of that. We got the Blood for Blood, the Specialized Toxin, nothing really out of the ordinary there. The Overdrive coming in for the Falstad as well. I mean, the Shock and Awe are just going to hit massive, massive numbers. If they can get down this gate, we can get into a hook, but I don't quite think it's there. In fact, they're just going to hook Keepers anyways.
Phase shift to come out, but there's the Shock and Awe. Kiefer's lost all his shield there. Overdrive had already been used, though, so we didn't see that extra damage coming forward. But Bobby is just charging in here. He's having to back up. There's the Tranquility, though, keeping him alive. Ravenous Spirit is just wrecking everything. Down goes Tassadar. The Strafe also came out. All of the ultimates used, but 2 Arc have actually relatively survived, but it doesn't matter because the follow-up damage is just too high. Down goes Arthas as well. And there's the hook onto Ace. He's going to be picked off as well with the backup. And yep, there he goes. Quibsy is next to fall. He ventured too far forward to try and save Ace. And that is going to be the first keep of the game going over to Cloud9.
And that's going to put him at level 19 as well. The next team fight very well could have a level 20 status here for Cloud9 Vortex, and that is going to be a scary thing. Furious D gets denied in this top lane. He's hoofed all the way up here. Fan just flies on in and says, nope, mine. And that means that they're going to get themselves another dragon unless he can do anything about it in the next few seconds, and he's not.
He did dodge the hammerang there. He's going to get his damage down, but in comes Chef. Dragon Knight's already gone over to Cloud9 while Furious D is now running for his life, with the hindering Moonfire is actually going to make this very difficult. Brightwing having to fly here instead of defending the Dragon Knight. This is going to be a problem if they can catch Furious D here. There's the polymorph.
Minions!
Yeah, minions, help out. Oh, but here comes Dream as well. Furious D goes down. Minions will be cleared by the Strafe. And Bobby has come in to try and deal with Ace. All of this while the Dragon Knight is just doing work in that mid lane. And finally, the team of Cloud9 are going to go down and join Raja there. Raja just looking for his opportunity to get in here. But with Tychus down, this is going to be very, very difficult for 2Arc to defend.
Yeah, having one of your damage out. Wow, another eat right there. And you see the ghouls. I love how the ghouls actually follow Arthas, even though he's...
Come back, Daddy, come back.
During that kill, though, it looks like Roger's about to lose out that Dragon Knight. But still, damage was done. Quibsy's now going to be the big target. iDream doesn't quite have that strafe up yet. He's looking for it. Doesn't need it. Ravenous Spirit's there to clean it all up. Chubb's now going to be running away. Furious D in the back. He is alive with the Odin, but it's a 2v5. And iDream, I don't think is going to drop. There's the Tranquility to ensure that he doesn't. And this is going to be another keep, Mr. Tetcher. And this is not looking good for 2Arc.
This is not looking good at all. 100 health per second on Valor from that Tranquility. It is immense. The Shock and Awe, though, was just interrupted on Faust. Very nice, but Tychus gave his life for it. And this is going to be game number 2 over to Cloud9. We are seeing people respawn, but it's not going to be enough. And they will move on, and I believe that does qualify them for the ESL Major.
Did they do. So 2Arc put up some really good games here, but the might of Cloud9 Vortex cannot be matched, it seems. And we're going to have to find out who they will take on here in the semis. Congratulations to them.
The double
Dragon. Yeah, the Dragon double matter. The Dragonshire has been won, and it will be once again blue team 4 for 4 today on Cloud9 Vortex.